It started with the sound of wheels on concrete, that familiar clack-clack echo that only a skateboard makes. By the time the HOA president heard it, she already had her phone in hand recording. "Violation of Community Code Section 7B, she hissed, zooming in on my son. "No recreational devices allowed on public walkways." He was 14, polite, quiet, always wearing his helmet. The only crime he had committed was being a teenager in a neighborhood run by people who feared fun. That video hit the HOA Facebook group within an hour. By sunset, there were comments calling him a nuisance, a bad influence, even a safety hazard. The same people who waved at him last week now crossed the street when he rolled by. But what happened next, they never saw coming. I tried reasoning with the board. "He's not hurting anyone," I said during the next HOA meeting. "He just skates after school for 20 minutes, that's it." The president, a stern woman in a coral blazer, always holding her clipboard like a badge of honor, gave a tight smile. "Rules exist for a reason," she said. "Today it's skateboards. Tomorrow it's chaos." The crowd laughed politely. I didn't. This wasn't about rules. It was about control. They didn't like seeing a kid enjoying himself without their permission. And my son? He became their latest target. The next week, they sent us a formal notice, $150 fine for repeat disturbance. He'd skated once that week, once. I crumpled the paper and stared out the window at my boy, practicing an ollie in our driveway, the sunset behind him. I knew then this wouldn't end quietly. The president, Mrs. Whitmore, wasn't always like this. Before she became the face of our suburban dictatorship, she was known for her husband's landscaping business, until it folded. She ran for HOA president, claiming she'd bring order back. Within months, she banned driveway basketball hoops, overnight street parking, and even garden flags not matching the community palette. Her power came from fear, and she fed on it. Neighbors tiptoed around her. They'd whisper at the mailbox but never challenge her in meetings. To them, she wasn't a neighbor anymore. She was the HOA. But to my son, she was just the woman who kept glaring at him from her window whenever his board touched pavement. My boy, Ethan, had moved here with me after his mom passed. Skateboarding wasn't just a hobby. It was how he coped. Every trick, every scrape, was therapy in motion. He built his own ramps, fixed up old boards, even taught a few neighborhood kids. For the first time since his mother's death, he smiled again. Then came the fines. Then the warnings. Then the morning he found his ramp destroyed, shattered, splintered, tire marks across the plywood. A note taped to the wreckage read, "Not HOA-approved construction." He didn't cry. He didn't yell. He just stood there, staring, gripping the note until his knuckles went white. That night, he came to me and said something I'll never forget. "Dad, if they want to record me, I'll give them something worth recording." The next weekend, he started filming. With the help of his friends, Ethan launched a YouTube channel called HOA Skate Rebellion. They filmed his runs around the block, not vandalizing, not breaking anything, just skating. But with every clip, he edited in HOA quotes, bylaws, and ironic slow-motion shots of Mrs. Whitmore glaring from her window. Within days, the videos went viral. Millions of views. Comments flooded in from people saying they'd faced the same kind of HOA tyranny. The final video, Ethan skating past a freshly posted no skateboarding sign, doing a perfect kickflip, as the caption flashed. "Freedom rolls louder than fear." It was cinematic, defiant, beautiful. By Monday morning, the HOA's inbox was exploding. News outlets picked up the story. Teen defies HOA over skateboard ban. Reporters showed up. Even skateboard legends reposted his clips. Mrs. Whitmore tried to fight back, claiming unauthorized filming and privacy invasion. But the footage was shot on public property, legally clean. She looked desperate, chasing kids off sidewalks while cameras rolled. At the next HOA meeting, attendance tripled. Homeowners who'd stayed silent for years now lined up at the microphone. "Why are we policing children?" one father asked. "My daughter can't ride her scooter because of this nonsense," said another. Whitmore banged her gavel, red-faced. "This is an HOA, not a playground." But no one listened anymore. The room was shifting, and she knew it. That night, the local news aired a segment showing her screaming at Ethan's camera crew. It went viral again. Memes, hashtags, and comments exploded online. Skate-free HOA, let kids be kids, Karen V's kickflip sponsors reached out. Skate brands sent Ethan new gear. The same neighbors who once avoided him now cheered when he skated by. Even the mayor commented online, saying, "Every community needs a little rebellion." Mrs. Whitmore tried one last move, threatening legal action, but her own board turned against her. They voted to repeal the anti-recreation rule and issue a public apology. The next day, she resigned. Quietly. No gavel, no farewell speech. Just silence. When I asked Ethan how he felt, he just smiled. "I didn't do it to win, Dad," he said. "I just didn't want anyone else to feel like I did." A week later, he organized a community skate event, approved by the new HOA leadership. Families came out, kids skated, music played, even the board members laughed. He painted a mural at the park entrance, a boy skating toward the sunset with the words, "Freedom rides forward." That's my son, the same kid they once called a troublemaker, now the symbol of change. And if you're watching this, maybe your HOA, your boss, your school, or someone else is trying to tell you who you're allowed to be. Remember this. They can post signs, they can threaten fines, but they can't stop momentum once it starts rolling. Because courage, it doesn't always roar. Sometimes it rides on four wheels and refuses to stop.